was the point.
That was the point, I guess.
All right, that was the point. I missed the point. That's not like the actual place, but how we would intro the show, how we would start. I feel like it was always the clearest indicator of now we ready. It's time to go.
Time coming out already.
The whole country is apparently ready.
Or soon.
Some people are ready.
Do we have bells?
Oh, we did forget to do the soundboard before we start. I feel like this is also another thing that we run into. Next production meeting, we got to sort this out. This is also an issue we run into every week here on, and that's how you segue. Welcome to the 10th Year Seniors Podcast. Nope.
This is definitely not how you segue it. Close, but no cigar.
Welcome to the Accredited, powered by 10th Year Seniors here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Ronaldo, and I have to run to the post office away.
I'm John Mark, and I'm disappointed that we got no emails at info@10ys.com.
We centered the entire show around info@10ys.com, and we will do so again. And we will continue to center every show around info@10ys.com, because you know why? Y'all are missing a grand opportunity right here in this space to say brought to you by your company here.
See, I even got to hide the companies. Like, I'm trying to eat some food right now.
And think of all the millions of listeners that will get to hear your company name. I was going to filibuster while you was opening your package.
Oh, what is this, a fig? A fig bar? Could be your company.
It could be your company. We could be eating your product as we record. We could be drinking your product as we record. Mm-hmm. We could be doing all of that stuff. We could be presenting your goods and services out here to the world. You're right here just throwing away opportunities basically by not emailing info@10ys.com.
Like, not even shooting your shot.
Just shoot your shot. Like,
what's the worst that could happen?
What is the worst that could happen?
We're not going to post it online and say, LOL, what's this?
No, we meet, we discuss, we possibly plan, we sign one or two things, some things happen, and then that's it. And then, you know, in exchange for what we bring to the table.
Things is things?
Things
or
is
down
things.
bad.
We down bad right now. Anyway, I know it's not down bad. The greatest of all time at her event. In our first segment, what's the lead? I mean, the lead for everyone in the Bahamas this week absolutely had to be Devin Charlton. You're waving me off.
No, this was me thinking.
Oh.
Because, you know, I was eating some food that not sponsored by anyone. But, you know, when are we going to, like, change the name of something to Devin at the airport?
This was going to be, all right, so we'll set it up, but that's going to be the biggest thing I think we actually need to talk about, right? So by now, everyone knows what it is. Third consecutive World Indoor Championship gold medal, which sounds insane enough on its own, right? To reach the pinnacle of your sport and to win a world championship 3 consecutive times, that's big enough on its own. We set that aside. You equal
and she was second in one.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. You equal your own world record en route to winning the gold medal.
While she stumbled out the blocks.
You set that aside. And like you said, this whole run starts with a silver medal in 2022. Then you go 3 golds in a row. So you go from being, okay, the best the Bahamas has to offer to I am a legend in this sport. I am the greatest to ever do this.
I feel like it started off as a feel-good moment.
It did.
Because Shawnee ran that year. She won the indoor gold. And then you have Devin there with a silver medal. And you're just like, how much better can the games get? Because we have a gold medalist and a silver medalist. So she was which sucks to say, but she was a side story of that celebration.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, listen, at that point, peak Shawnee, anyone would be in that moment. So saying that ain't even a negative thing. It's not like when you said it, you meant that to be a pejorative term. At that point, she was the name that was up and coming, whereas Shawnee was already the established name that's there. And that's kind of what happens. But then this is also the progression of how these kind of things go, right? That up and comer eventually can become that new established name. And that's exactly what she did, because you're right. It actually was a feel-good story in that moment, because I remember in the press conferences and all of that.
Because it was injuries.
The big story was her coming back from a debilitating back injury that everyone thought was going to sidetrack her career for an extended period of time. And for her to battle back from that and not just compete at the highest level, but to medal at world championships, it was like, No, she's arrived on the big stage now. And she only followed it up with the greatest run we've ever seen in this event. Or maybe any event. I don't know.
She's ran the best. No one's ran faster than her in this event.
And she did it twice.
She did it twice. Which she stumbled out the blocks on this one. Which is still crazy because it's so slight and minute. But as like, granted, she came off a 10-hour flight or 12-hour flight or whatever it was. Like, you really can't go into detail with it, but you really wanted to see what was your mindset, because she is known for her explosive starts, right? Mm-hmm. What is your mindset of you're coming out the blocks and you know that you didn't perform at your best? These athletes know every single fine-tooth thing. Did a mindset change, or did she? It looks like she just kept the calm and said, "You know what? I got this. I just gotta go." You know, but it could be something where she could have been like, "Oh, I might have to do something extra that she's not used to doing," and then that ruins a race. Like, that's how, it's millimeters.
And the thing about it is, in the 60, I don't even know if they have time to consider that, because this ain't like the 100 where you have an opportunity to possibly overcome a misstep. Mm-hmm. You don't have that opportunity in the 60. Everything happens in an instant. So the margin for error, and that's why this race is so competitive. Well, the sprint hurdles in general now is probably the most competitive event in track and field. But that's why, because the margin for error is so slim. You could have from 1 to 8 separated by hundredths of a second.
Look, we could have had 3 hurdlers in the finals, and we were just off by the smallest margin that you could imagine.
So Devin's progression, when we think about it, I think prior to 2022, prior to her becoming the greatest in the 60-meter hurdles, it's like she went from finalist to contender to always in the mix to being the one,
the GOAT.
And that, I think this run, I don't know if we'll be able to even accurately be able to talk about it or honor this properly in the right way. And it goes back to what you were saying in the beginning. I don't think we even know how to honor this properly, because this run is
historic,
unprecedented. Yeah. It's unprecedented.
No one's done it before. This is the thing. No one has done this before. For all the years that they've been having this event, no one's ever done this. So we have to now look at it to say, a world record might be broken any day in any race, right? But to win the 3 gold medals in a row, that might never happen again.
Because I used to think, okay, we have a Bahamian world record holder. How do we, you know what I mean? How do we recognize that properly? How do we separate that from the way we celebrate everything else? Because this is different. This stands alone as one of one. And then she did it again. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, I stand to be corrected, but off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone that has won 3 consecutive gold medals at major international meets like this. I don't think we've ever had that happen before. So again, one of one. It goes back to what you said in the beginning.
Just Usain Bolt.
No, I'm talking about Bahamians.
Oh.
Yeah, just Bahamians. So it goes back to what you were saying in the beginning. How do we properly recognize this? And I know you mentioned naming stuff after her.
That's just
where do we go in terms of what's the tangible way to show that this is how we
one of the biggest things I feel is this, right? First of all, it's always going to be something monetary, right? That's I know they say you win a world championship medal, you get something, right? But what I feel like it'll go deeper with this, knowing that, big, what's the word that I'm looking for? Big press conference was today with Brave talking about go register to vote. It is always going to depend on government, but I feel like government should be able, if you have a foundation as well, because we know Devin has one.
She does, yeah. Breaking barriers.
Invest in that too, in a way. Okay, you want a gold medal, you get $25,000, and we're going to put $10,000 into this, because the point of that is to help the young athletes get to places where Devin is. Because it isn't saying, oh, we hope that someone can do something. This is now, we've seen it, we want more of this. So it's like everything's always going to be financial at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? You can name a road after me. It doesn't matter. Like they'll end up changing it. How do you think Mr. Harold feels when they change Harold Road? You know what I'm saying?
But I know who does feel great. Tonic.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like you could rename a road anytime. Like it doesn't matter.
But I will. But there is something to that though, because the fact that we even know whoever Harold is, the fact that we even know his name. But that's the kind of thing when you name something after someone, that's the entire point of it, right? It's supposed to be a lasting legacy that even other generations that come along, they go back and they got to learn, who is this person? Why is this named after them? What did they do? So there should be, we talk about it on the show all the time. We talked about it last week where we don't do this kind of stuff enough when you brought up, just honoring with banners and plaques and being able to.
Is she on the Hall of Champions in the airport?
Oh, I never know. I don't know who's on the airport.
I don't think she is, because if the last two were Stevie and Shawnee.
We could ask this every week and I would never know who's on the airport.
How come? Okay, some marketing advice for LPIA, you know?
Go ahead.
Or
for the free ski.
Or the Devon Charlton Airport.
Okay.
Because that's where she has all the press conferences. Except when she gets silver, they take it to Tar, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like gold. You win gold?
Gold
you
right away.
Airport.
Gold, we don't let you leave or go do nothing else.
How about on your website? You put who was in the Hall of Champions. Just saying.
Do you think once the Walk of Fame rolled around, they started saying, well, the Hall of Champions became
who in the Walk of Fame?
Second rate. I mean, there's a lot of people. Do you know how long the Walk of Fame is?
Yeah. I looked at it yesterday. I was like, damn. Walk of Fame Bahamas, do they have a website with all the people on it? No.
As you search in real time, because I honestly have no idea, and I was kind of interested. In the answer. All right, let's take it back to Poland. Let's take it back to the World Champs. So the season for Devon had been one where it was kind of like, when we talk about team sports and it's a team that's been there before, they don't have to come out of the gate firing on all cylinders unless you're OKC this year. So it's kind of like, okay, I know what I'm going to get to. And so much of track is peaking at the right time. Mm-hmm. So much of track isn't, okay, I'm not going to come out starting the season running my fastest times. I'm working my way up to that point. And that's kind of the way the season was progressing. And then you get here to World Champs and everyone knows this is her moment. Because even in the pre-event press conference, she got asked a question, what is the difference? What does it feel like being the one who is hunted rather than the hunter? Because going into that, being the two-time gold medalist, of course she had the target on her back. Of course everyone's like, this is the person who I want to beat. And so
this is the person you have to beat. It's not want to, it's have to. If I want to get to XYZ, I have to beat this person.
And then she comes out in the semifinals and runs a world-leading time. So it's almost as if, okay, I get to the big stage and that switch just flipped. Mm-hmm. And now it's time for me to reclaim that, because I don't think we were making a big enough deal of it that she was going for her third consecutive one. Like we should be propping this up. You know what the Bahamas should be doing right now? We should be saying, what's the point of them other 40 meters? We should make the 60 the standard. That's what we should be doing. So she could be the biggest superstar in terms of the sprint hurdles. What we need to do is start demeaning the 100. That's my idea.
I mean, that sounds great and all, but this is going to go back to Bahamians are the most fair weather bandwagoning people in the world.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
We know that.
If, we have 3 women, because we can't discredit the other 2 women.
No, we're gonna
get to it. But this is the point. We have 3 women who are in the top 9 in the world. In the world. Right? We have to understand how difficult it is just to see where they are. The work that they've put in, we don't see them do the work. I'm not waking up at 5 a.m. to go run and lift weights. Like, I know you like to lift weights early.
Yeah.
I prefer to, mid-afternoon. That's a good time to go exercise. But we just have to realize we have 3 women. We only had 5. I mean, we had more than 5 people, I believe, but college schedules and injuries and all those things come into account of who can do what. But we have to just stop waiting for them to win a gold and then saying, yeah, I remember I was following her since them sack day. Well, I could believe a sack is saying that.
I could believe that. If so,
they have
I was like, you picked the worst example because if someone says I was following them from sack days, that's probably true.
That one will be true. But it's like, you just got to understand, like, but Denisha gave us so much content when she was in college. But it's like you got to look at them before and follow them through the journey and then say, yes, they made it.
It's appreciated more that way.
Yeah.
So let's go to that, because that was going to be the next part of this. The fact that Devin is the gold standard. She's now the standard for the world in this event. But it just so happens that we are now in an era where we have three women that qualified in the Olympics in the 100-meter hurdles. And we nearly had three women in the final of the 60 at the World Championships. Devin, of course, gold medalist, world record holder. Denisha Cartwright finished 7th. Charisma Taylor just missed a spot by hundredths of a second, just missed a spot in the final. And to me, it would have been reminiscent of the Golden Girls making the final in the 100 at the Olympics. To know that, wow, we have this depth, not just this one, but we have the depth in this event. And I guess in track and field, it comes in ebbs and flows like that. You have years when some events become more popularized because you have people doing it at that high standard. But right now, it's got to be the era of the hurdles, right? Like, they have to be giving birth to a generation of hurdlers coming behind them, looking up to them, saying, we can get to this point.
So I'm looking at like the heats and all that. And I remember Devin said something at the press conference of like, she got an automatic bye because she was she won the world championships or whatever last time, which gave the room for 2 Bahamians, because usually it's only 2 per event. So she was given a bye or whatever you want to call it. She had an exemption. So that exemption didn't matter what country it was from. Now, given the opportunity of having the 2 Bahamians in there, like I said, it would have been crazy if you had the last time we had 3 Bahamians in the final like that would have been the 100 meters at Sydney.
That was them, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, because she got an exemption, now there's more Bahamians that have an opportunity to show what they can do. Like, they're on the fringe, but they're still there.
Which is a mind-blowing thing for us to even have happen. And all of this is through the prism of, little country does big things on the international sports stage. We know that much. But for those 3 to be there and for them to be the standard bearer, because they are making it to the biggest stages in the sport. They are making it at the top levels, world championships and Olympics. It's not regional meets.
No.
So we literally have some of the best sprint hurdlers in the world. Not just the best, but you got to include Denisha and Charisma in the conversation, which is why Grade 10YS ideal, and I think they need to adopt it. Gotta have a hurdle relay.
Boy, if they had a hurdle relay, it would be good.
It would be amazing. That's another medal opportunity for us. I just feel like the genius track and field people could think about it, however it's going to work logistically. I don't know. But I just want a way for us to capitalize on having this depth of elite level sprint hurdlers.
I remember they had something one time.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Please tell me that
they had something in the war relays.
I know they had it then, but I need them to make it an Olympic event. At least make it a world championship
You have to
event.
make it a world championship before people start believing in it and then saying, hey, this is what we want.
So the World Relays was a great test run. I thought this was an amazing idea. Bring it back. Have it as a world championship event because, I mean, we like being things. See, when they did this, we didn't have what we have now.
I know one thing. I know who was going to win gold for sure.
The
Bahamas.
See, we didn't have this level of what we have now. My bad, y'all. I'm watching this
thing. It's cool. It's a cool concept.
It is an amazing concept.
The thing about it is this. You cannot have a bunch of teams in it. You could only have, I think, 4 teams max in the final. So it's just like, all right, cool. That 8 lanes, 2 lanes each team.
Sounds like it's exclusive. I love making things more exclusive.
How about this? We have to do it when Devin has the next invitational. We say, hey.
That's true. You know what? Let's run it with the high school kids. Get people more accustomed to the idea.
You make it into a thing.
There you go.
Email us at info@10ys.com if you want more great marketing ideas.
We just given LPIA ideas. We given the track and field community ideas. Y'all could come here for the free game. make that a thing now where it's a Bahamian standard where this is run at all of these meets, because if we have these elite sprint hurdlers, then we need to be pushing this narrative that this is the most important thing to do.
Yeah, see, these people doing it. They got 11 months ago.
Yeah, how could we can't let somebody else?
It's on Wikipedia. We got to do it.
Well, there you go. There you go. So now this sets the tone, and the last few years, this has always been the question, right? Devon's going to dominate indoors. She's going to dominate the 60. And then we make that transition outdoors to the 100. Like I said, I don't even like these last 40. But she did speak about it. She gave voice to how this sets her up for the outdoor season. What do you think about her take on that entire thing and how one benefits the other, or the major difference between the two?
The major difference was the extra 40 meters.
Yes.
That is, and you have to jump, I think, 3 or 4 more hurdles, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, so obviously longer distance, there's more hurdles. What that is her strength is in the start. Her strength is in her start. Her strength is in having that explosive speed. The endurance over the course of time has been where the other athletes have surpassed her.
Yeah, but my thing is, she's 30 now. So theoretically, she is going to what people would say is your prime age, right? Like, prime is usually what, 28 to 32 now?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of varies by sport, modern medicine.
So when it comes to the outdoor hurdles with the 100 meter hurdles, I'm going to put her to the equivalent of Debbie Ferguson. Super consistent, always in the final. And I feel like if she medals, it's going to be one of those running out of lane 8 and she just has her magic moment and she gets a medal. Like, to me, that's what it's going to come down to. She wins a lot of events outdoors. It's just that it's been tough. The opportunity just hasn't been there for her to be able to put the complete race together, as she would say. Because like you said, you still got to finish it off. The people who are running these outdoor hurdles look like they're stepping over the hurdles. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's the difference between having to jump over 5 hurdles and having to jump over 10. Like, that's what it is. But she's got the elite start, the elite acceleration. But she has spoken to the point that, well, yeah, if everybody knows that this is something that I need to work on, we've implemented different things in my training for us to actually get to this point. So I do think the competition in the 100 hurdles is even more intense.
Yeah.
But I do think she's going to play a bigger factor now, because that has been something that they've spoken about. So you got Ronnie Green, who's her coach ever since she was out of Purdue and then trained at Kentucky, where Ronnie Green's the head coach now. And I know this is something that they have actually put into the offseason toolkit. Like, yeah, we're going to get there on the indoor stage, but the way track and field is marketed, outdoor is the one that's the big ticket. So we got to get there too.
Because it's always going to be the Olympics is the biggest event. And if it's not done at the Olympics or for, like, think about this, even the World Championships in outdoor isn't as heralded as the Olympics. But it's just as important.
Yeah.
To be a world champion, like, this every second year. It's
absolutely, because track and field knows we can't. I mean, the casual people can just focus every 4 years, but then what would that do to the lifespan of an athlete? It can't just be the only important thing is every 4 years.
Ask Donald Thomas, what do you think about being a world champion?
That could last you decades. That could last you a lifetime.
He's still jumping.
And speaking of lasting a lifetime, it brings us full circle, because what does her lasting legacy become if we don't capture this the right way? And we literally have to make a time capsule of this moment, because people years from now will not understand how insanely good she had to be over this stretch run, because she has dominated an era, you could say. Like, it's been long enough now where you can say she's dominated an era. So I don't know.
She's a dynasty.
Literally. So I don't know what it is, how we commemorate it permanently, but it has to be something permanent. It cannot just be the same thing we've done before with other athletes.
The simplest thing is doing this. There's a lot of space out in front of the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Let's start building those full body statues. You could be in the Walk of Fame. That's cool. A lot of people could be in the Walk of Fame. But like when you go to Jamaica, you go to the National Stadium.
Yep.
Who do you see? All the greats.
Heroes. That's why they didn't name it after one person. It's just heroes because they have so many. Aren't we approaching that point? Because listen, if she's the first one that they get that they commemorate a statue for, then I'm good with that.
Who would be mad?
I'm good with that because you know why? She's a world record holder, and how many of those do we have? She should be the first one to get a statue.
Okay.
If she can't get the stadium, so give her a statue.
How many so world record in the event, because does Shawnee have the 300 world record or something like that? And Stevie had the 300. Anyways, look at the names we're saying.
Yeah.
It's like, this ain't like I'm going and I don't want to disrespect anyone's name, but let's just say
we don't have to, but they don't have world records is all I'm saying. Like, so the people listen, all of them should have statues.
Yeah.
NBA franchises do this around their arena. Like the 76ers just did one where they unveiled Iverson's statue. I'm not saying all of these has to be life size, but if an NBA franchise could have statues around their practice facility, like the 76ers has, VJ's going to have one day.
And nothing more than we
can do the same thing.
The celebration. You know, pomp and they got to have a press conference. They got to have whole Junkanoo rush out.
Yes. But Junkanoo rush outs end, and then everyone goes home, and we forget about it immediately. What this needs to be is a lasting legacy because she's gone from doing great things to dominating an era, and that kind of thing should live on forever. Let's shift gears now. Devin was once a Carifta star. Devin was once a gold medalist. This was back when she just used to run flat 100. Or she did pretty much everything at that point. She was once a star at Carifta because it's a star-making vehicle, not just for the region, but it's the biggest meet in the world in terms of junior track and field. And
which is insane.
World Athletics say that every year.
Because they say the world. They're even saying it's bigger than their world championships.
Yeah, they don't miss it. The track and field world comes to Carifta because that's how big of a deal it is. So the fact that this has always been an outsized, it's always gotten an outsized level of attention from our culture is kind of, it deserves it. Yeah. It deserves it because it's the star-making vehicle. The names that we talk about, this is the moment where the general public at large, not just the track and field community, this is where they learn them.
This is where you stop looking at the colors of red and green and you drape yourself in the flag. Because I'll tell you one thing, it don't matter who
always look at yellow and red.
It don't matter who running a Carifta.
Oh, no.
If that is a Bahamian running, these people going crazy.
We don't have to know. We can, but we don't have to actually know the names. See, that's the great thing about cheering for a flag, right? We just need to know that's our colors. We ride with you. We'll learn the name after.
Yeah.
But we can support that.
Who that running? My favorite is you don't know who that running. That's so-and-so Smith. Oh, I know he daddy. Oh, no. And it's like, oh, God. Like, you ain't know who this kid was before. He went to CV Bethel. Yeah. No one checking with GSSA. Like, let's be real.
So the question for us, not just this year, but any year, is this is about Team Bahamas building that next generation of stars. This is about Team Bahamas building the pipeline. And I think for us, the narrative has to shift somewhat because people are always going to talk about, winning. People are always going to talk about medal counts, always talk about how do you dethrone Jamaica. I don't even know how possible it is. But I think we almost have to be at the point now where we're...
Did you watch any of Champs?
Yeah.
I watched the stuff online.
I did.
They rolling.
I did. But I think we have to be to the point where we almost have to be competing against the past version of ourselves because that's the only way to really measure it, right? So I love the fact that in at Carifta 52 last year, it was the best performance the team has had since 1984. Best performance they've had since they won in 1984, because then that gives you a clear line of look at the growth and progression. We're pairing this against the last time they actually won the entire meet. So it gives you a sense that, yeah, this program is still trending upward, irrespective of the fact that, I mean, you can't topple Jamaica because they win as much gold medals as anyone is winning total medals.
Yeah.
But still, doesn't mean that it's not a zero-sum game. That's not the end-all, be-all winning the meet.
So the thing about it is this, right? And we always look at it, and this is how we're always going to have to judge it. We already know going into it, if you're saying, hey, we could beat Jamaica, then you're delusional. Let's just put it that way, because Jamaica fields 2 people every single event. Some events only have 3 people in it, and Jamaica and 2 of the 3. Like,
they will always have the pole vaulters. They'll always
the shot putters, the discus, all that. They have all of that. Now, we have to look at it of saying, what did we do? I remember one year we won like 2 gold medals. To me, that is like that shouldn't happen with Bahamas. Like, let's be real. What we did last year, I feel like that might be overachieving to a point, and we shouldn't expect that every year, but we should be around that count, plus minus 4.
But I think this year and the next few years now is going to tell us if that's overachieving or are we here at this point now
and we're staying here
and we're going to stay here. Not or even if we're not staying here, are we trending upward where we're going to be able to beat that? Is this now going to be the floor?
Is this a standard?
Yeah.
Is this Bahamas standard? But you also have to look at it in a way as well where what athletes are you producing out of these Carifta games at the senior level? Because it's important, because you could say you could win as many Cariftas as you want to win. But if that doesn't translate to the senior, like Jamaica has shown, it translates to the senior level.
We have too.
But I'm just long jump. I think it was discus or shot put. They had a medalist. Pretty much at 800 meters, they had someone that was over 100, 200 relays. We all know that. And we've shown, I think we've regressed from what we were in the past day, because we used to be jumpers. We used to be relays. We used to have all that stuff at the senior level. So this is the generation that's going to show us, are we going to go back to the main stage? Because the talent, Jose Johnson, the talent we have coming out, Egan Neely, I feel could be better than what we have with Shawnee and Stevie.
But it's, in terms of events, it's ebbs and flows, right? I think because we're such a small country, I think it's very difficult to have that across the board success in multiple disciplines at once. Not saying it's impossible, but it's more difficult for us than it would be for other people, just based on numbers alone. That's a tall task to have. And I think not just the popularity of events, but the representation matters. So sometimes when we have somebody come up in an event and they make it to the top of the world stage, they inspire other people behind them, and that kind of thing happens. So I think that's why sometimes you see it comes in bunches, and then you might not see that happen in an event for a while, but then you'll have a resurgence, right? Because in terms of throwing, it was just Laverne Eve who was the standard bearer for a long time, and then that kind of went away on the international stage. But now, when you look at the Carifta level and look at what Remo Otebo did in NCAAs now, and that group shifting to be the first group of pros, her and Keyshawn. Now the throws are having a resurgence. Sometimes with the Golden Girls, we had the hundreds being the thing, the hundreds and the 200s, but we haven't had that level of success since. But what we did have was the quarter milers. So everyone kind of has their day, and like we talked about in the first segment, now the hurdlers are doing that thing now.
Yep. So, but I just feel that we got to get to a point where it's everyone. Like, we got to keep that. I think the consistency, because we keep saying it before, you don't have to be winning gold, silver, bronze.
No.
We just have to be at that stage, in my opinion, because the second you, like, look at the triple jump when, you had Frank. Got to say his name or else I get in row.
Of course.
You have Frank. You have Levan, right? So that's
another thing,
but that went like back to back. And now it's just like we had a big gap. and then Laquan came in, won a Commonwealth Games. But it's just like, if we don't have these people doing these events, people like Bahamian, like I said, bandwagon, they just forget about it.
That is why the success of one or two means so much. And people may look at it and say, okay, well, that's just one person. Well, no, because that one person actually makes 100, 200 other people want to do this because they see it as a very real possibility. Like, I am positive.
Look at the high jumpers we had.
I'm positive that when Trevor Barry or Donald Thomas was in practice, they talked about Troy Kemp and what he did years before that. I'm positive when Lee Van was coming up, they use Frank as the standard for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know that absolutely has to happen. So in 10, 15, 20 years from now, when there's another young sprint hurdler coming up, they are going to compare it to Devin Charlton because we've seen the best be here.
You know what the best thing about
or Devin will still be running.
Devin running all these things. You're not going to have these barbershop conversations. I remember back in the 20s that these people was running 5 seconds in the hurdles. They come home and they prove themselves home.
No, you know what? I can leave that one alone.
I'm just,
because they might say there was someone else if they did the hurdles back then, or if they had this, or if they had that.
Of course, everyone will always say if, but we're in a time and age now where
we can see it.
There's no arguments should not exist because you pull out your phone and you could just prove him.
Oh wrong. Yeah, Wi-Fi killed the sports argument.
Yeah.
Like the internet killed the sports
The only
argument.
thing now in barbershops are opinion pieces.
That's it. And going back to our first segment, Devin killed that. Because there's no longer any kind of argument. Now, if you argue it, you only can argue the 100. But her success killed that. Kind of like how Jamaica killed the debate about Carifta.
Track and field.
Carifta track and field. We're going to get to aquatics after this, but we're going to concentrate on Carifta track and field. I want to go back to something you said about the names, and for a lot of people, this being the start and going on to have that Olympic and World Championship success. A lot of the times, you don't necessarily have to do it at the Carifta level because some people bloom at different times, but I feel like you got to be in the conversation. But a big way to tell who's coming up next is that Austin Seeley Award. And I think you already mentioned some of the names.
We've been robbed so many years.
We've been robbed, but I think this is the year that we can get back there. I think this is... Who was the last one? Antonique was the last one?
I think so. We have 3 people.
And she went back to back.
Yeah. Oh, so here's the crazy thing with that. We never had a male win that award.
Which seems crazy to me.
So here it is. Egan was robbed last year.
Absolutely.
Robbed.
Absolutely. But see, this is what records do. This is what records do. And hey, when we get to the NBA, we're going to talk about voting and all that kind of thing. But let me tell you something about this Carifta voting experience and how we would just live it with this last year.
Who votes for it?
There has to be like a panel. There has to be like a Carifta committee that does that. I don't think journalists have anything to do with that. But our argument was, look, I get that the guy in the field broke 2 records. It was also very convenient that the Jamaican journalists, all of them, learned at the same time as we learned it, because even they were thinking Neely. Everyone around her was Neely this, Neely that. And he was the big name. And then when they heard, the Jamaican kid broke the 2 records. Then he should be Austin Seeley.
Here's the thing,
Y'all wasn't saying that 5 minutes before.
I get the Austin Seeley thing, right? I get that, whatever.
Style points.
Look, Egan got a goal in every race he did, right? Now, I don't want to discredit that the guy got 2 records at the thing, right?
Not discrediting. Crazy accomplishment.
But the field, he was probably going to win gold anyways, right? That's all I say. He was going to win. But you know how grueling it is to run the heats in the 400s, the heats in the 200s, the heats in the 4x1, the heats in the 4x4. And not only that, you have a 400-meter guy run everyone down the 100.
What are you going to remember from this meet? That would be my question. What are you going to remember from this meet? You know what you can remember? This guy getting the baton 50 and 20 meters behind in 3rd, and then...
Legend says he was in 8th place when he got the baton.
Legend says 8th place. We can stick with that. And then you having that moment, because that had everybody buzzing. No disrespect to the guy who won, Austin Seeley. That wasn't a name that was resonating around Trinidad. I'm sorry. That wasn't a name that was doing it.
As I said, Who do I think?
Yeah, let's go to this year. Let's go to Austin Sealy candidates for this year.
This is the crazy thing because did Jacario move up an age division?
I think he's under 20 now.
My thing is, what? Let me. I don't even know.
They both are. I think they both did. I think both him and Egan are now under 20. So moving up a division does change things.
Yeah, moving up a division will change a whole lot of things because now all of a sudden it isn't you're now against people 2 years older than you.
Yeah, you go from being now you're going to compete against people who are in college and coming back to compete in this. You're not just competing against high schoolers, where in under 17, that's who you are. You're competing against your literal peers. That kind of shifts when you go to under 20 because now you got some adults you compete against, which is why that was the year for it to happen. Not saying that it can't happen this year, but when you're at the top of your division, that's the time to rack it up.
I don't know how it's going to pull off, but dark horse, Jacario.
Yeah.
Because if he, I'll tell you this,
someone has to get a record.
Yes.
They love records, Sean. They've shown us that.
Yes and no, because this is why we think style points are so important. And I agree with style points. Let's just say Jacario goes in and wins the 110-meter hurdle because we already know with a 17-minute delay, it doesn't help you with your race. Right?
It's a terrible thing to happen.
So let's say he goes in and wins the 110 and the 400-meter hurdles in his first year in the under 20. I think that's an Austin Sealy Award winner.
I agree. Because then on top of that, and you know what else I didn't like? They were like, oh, well, we can't include relays in it. Because I heard some of the journalists were saying that take the relays out of the equation.
What do you mean?
I'm like, how can you?
It counts in the medal stand?
Like, how can you? What are you talking about? And that's why I was like, this whole thing is just a narrative for y'all's guy to win. Because what do you mean take the relays out of it? Some of the greatest memories we have in track and field happen in relays.
Mm-hmm.
And our country definitely ain't taking the relays out of it. Are you kidding me?
You think these countries, if you want to go, you know what? Your relay ain't that important.
They count it every time in Bolt's count. They count it every time when they beat the USA, though.
Jamaica, if relays ain't that important, Jamaica media, don't run them. Just don't run them then.
Don't run them.
Don't go in it. Just say, Because you know what's going to end up happening? An Egan Neely moment might happen to them. And they say, oh, that's why he got to win the award. It's going to all of a sudden turn into, oh, look at the style points now.
Style points are so important. But I think our Austin Sealy favorite or winner is coming in that under 17 girls division. And I think it's either Jose Johnson or Kiesra Thomas. So last year.
Could we have Co?
I hope we do. I hope we do. So last year, I think Thomas is doing less events this year because that was something we did talk about. We was like, she ain't really got a high jump.
She's tired.
She ain't really got a high jump. Like she could just sprint. Yeah. So I think it's now just the 2 and I think it's now just the 2 and the 4, if my memory serves me correct when I looked at the list. So you got those two. And,
she was tired last year.
And then Jose Johnson is just a phenomenon. She just built different.
Yeah. I think personally, if you're gonna look at it, Jose Johnson is the front runner from the Bahamas to win the event, just based on the long jump, the triple jump, and sprints.
If she can get it done, her getting it done in the sprints will be the game changer. If we come out and you see in them prelims, she killing it in them heats, and she looks to be one of the ones. I don't even think she has to win it. I think if she gets to the podium in the 2. Because I'm looking at the jumps as a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, the jumps for sure. So she gets 2, and she ain't 4 goals. Plus the relay, she's going for 6. You out here downplaying these things.
I don't downplay nobody.
And you ain't trying to support. You see, you got a St. John shirt right there. Look, she's going to win 6 gold medals.
Yeah.
Right? First time ever. She's going to break 2 records and be the Austin Award Sealy winner. That's what's going to happen.
Ain't much to say about that then. That's it.
Style points?
There's no greater style points you can have. If that list that you say happens just now, that's all the style you need.
What do you think the excuse would be like if someone came in and like, all right, what's an event? Let's just say someone ran like the 5,000 meter national Carifta record. You think they'll be like,
style points.
See,
I bet style points will be important then.
Yeah, who ran that long and they like?
It'll depend on where they come from and what flag they wearing. That's all I saying. I want to go from, so obviously in Carifta track and field, we are the hunters. We are chasing. Oh, no, wait. Before we get off of this, I had a question for you.
Yes, the Bahamas is going to dominate.
Yes. What do you think happened in 1984?
When we won?
Because...
You just ask me in general?
No, not in general. Not everything that happened in the world.
No, I'm just saying in general of why the Bahamas would have won.
How did we take this? How did we take two divergent paths? How was it that, because we were going back and forth in the 80s, right? Mm-hmm. Between us and Jamaica, and I think Bermuda even slipped in. It was one other country that slipped in there and won at some point in the 80s. And then, after 1984, it's been 39 in a row.
Sack could only wish.
So I just want to know no, it's not 84. What happened in 1985 that changed everything? I don't know, because whatever it was, Jamaica walked away from losing that Carifta and they was like, never again.
Here's what I want to research.
It never happened again.
When was the first Bahamian fast food chain in the Bahamas? I feel like, and I'll be honest with you.
You think it's the Americanization of our food?
I believe it is the food.
Wow. Mind blown.
You didn't think I was going that angle?
No, I didn't think you was going that angle. Now, when we get off air, I have to literally go ask my parents.
Yeah. We got to find these things out because it's like...
I feel like KFC had to be around.
I don't know. So, here we go. Bermuda won one in 75 in Bermuda. Home turf advantage. That's cool.
We was only a country for like 2 years.
Then we won our first one in Bermuda. 1980. 1981, we won. 1983, we won. 1984, we won.
It was a thing.
Yeah, but we used to win. You know what? We're good at this.
It was a thing. But get to 85 now. And then scroll all the way down.
I already did. I just
literally, me and you, our entire lives,
so
we have not seen it.
So we are
happen.
the Miami Dolphins.
That's literally what that's it. That's it. 84, it actually, yeah. It gets to 85 because that's when Marino made it to the Super Bowl. The beginning of the 84 season, so it happened in 85. So Dolphin success and Bahamian Carifta success coincide.
Also, there was a lot less events.
Of course. The sport grew, everything else grew. But that's what I really want to know, though, whether that's the answer or not.
David Charlton winning the hurdles, 400 meter, 53.81.
Hold on, this didn't happen in a vacuum, you know.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm just shouting the names out. You know, we just had a whole segment on one Charlton.
Yeah.
We bringing the next one in.
Nah, he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. So, like, whether it's the events, whatever the reason is,
the women definitely held it down, though, for sure.
I'm not even just saying that we were doing something wrong. You know, I am, as someone that is a fan of sports history and tries to study and tries to learn this stuff, I really want to know what the difference has been since 1985 and why I wouldn't even say moved in two drastically different directions, but one program obviously became, it wasn't an argument anymore. It wasn't, it's no longer a real competition anymore. And I just want to know why.
I'll tell you this. Like, I'm looking at the 1981 Carifta Games, right? That must have been the most exciting Carifta Games of all time.
I like 84.
Well, I haven't got to 84 yet.
Okay,
I'm going. So we won 43 medals. Jamaica won 42.
Wow.
Yeah. We won 15 gold. They won 13.
I bet relays count then.
But that's what for sure.
You know the tension that had to be around in that last event? Well, I don't know if it came down to the last one, but it definitely had to come down to the last couple.
So, yeah, no, in 84, we dominated them. 51 medals for it. That's what I'm saying. Like,
so what happened in 85?
Boy, Jamaica must have had baby boomers or something.
Yo, this might be, I want a documentary about this. Like the 84, 85.
Okay, so 85, we won 45 medals. They won 50, but they won 25 gold. We won 7.
And this is where everything changed. This is where everything changed. Yeah. I don't know if they was doing something. That's neither here nor there.
I'm literally at 86 now because this is very important. 14 really gold, 21 gold, Jamaica. We were still like competing. The most important thing is, when was the year that we just like...
It really got into a cartoonish kind of lead.
Yeah. 88 looks pretty cartoonish.
But This is what I'm saying. So what? And it happened. It seemed like it happened very quickly, bro.
Yeah.
Because we gone from one medal difference.
Okay. I found the year.
I feel like you found it.
1990.
So
72 to 20 medals.
So in 5 years, we go from a 1 medal difference to what did you say it was 72 to 20 something?
Yeah.
We go from a 1 medal difference to 50 medals.
Yep.
How? This may be the most this here may be the most compelling story in Caribbean track and field, a story that's been undercovered.
Yeah. All I know is this, right? We need to just keep improving, which is hard to do. Total of medals since 1990, Jamaica 900, us 194. I feel like that just explains the whole history.
It kind of does.
Since 1990. So that is the year, because I could guarantee you a Jamaican did this one because they didn't want to include the ones before 1990. That's when everything went downhill.
Yeah. So I also saw something that was trending on Facebook and on social media that I wanted us to bring up on here. So we were talking about champs for a bit earlier, and there were posts that I was seeing everywhere called Champs Rewind.
Yeah, I was seeing that too.
Yes.
Where Shelly Ann came fourth in one race, and it's just like you look at the history, which if you email info@10ys.com, all I'm saying is these things could be documented forever.
They have the history of champs readily accessible and readily available. So all of these people achieving these great things now, or even back then, you get to see them and you get to watch that. Look at what they were at this level. You know who had that for VJ on draft night? These guys right here.
You tell me?
Info@10ys.com. All I'm saying is, but that goes to me, that's the difference in the mindset and the difference in the approach. Because all of that stuff, because their champs for how long has probably been airing on TVJ. And it's been documented so they could go back and look at that. Who else? It was the Johan Blake race, I think, had 6 Olympians and world championship medalists in it.
Wow.
In their 100-meter final.
And you know what the crazy thing is? We had the Debbie Fergusons, the Sandra Syrups, the Pauline.
But where's our rewind?
But that's what I'm saying.
Where's our documentation?
See, here's the crazy thing about, and as much as I love BEISS track and field, and let's just emphasize that BEISS does not automatically mean track and field.
No.
We win BEISS. Well, I saw a school post something about all the BEISS championships they did have.
UC.
Yes. Compared to the other school.
I mean, it was pretty impressive list.
Yeah, no, it was impressive.
Like, I saw people trying to knock that, and I was like,
so
this is actually very impressive.
They winning everything else, plus they in a fight with y'all.
They come second in this one and win like 17. Yeah. Like,
exactly.
That's pretty impressive, right? Because wasn't the whole thing about SAC is that they win it all? They win all of them, not just the one thing. Anyway, we didn't want to get bogged down in
my whole thing is this. There should be no track meet. This is more marketing and stuff that we have to, these are the ideas. No track meet should be more important than high school nationals.
Nationals should be the big thing.
Nationals should be the most important meet we have in this country.
Because it's everyone. Because it includes everyone. Because you can't just... One meet that doesn't include Family Islands and doesn't include GSSA students cannot be the most important thing.
Yeah.
The fan base can be into it. They can be into the rivalry. That's fine. But that cannot be the end all be all. Because when you get to this point now where they wearing the flag colors, it's not just students from those schools.
Exactly.
That's why that can't be the biggest one. But to go back to the Champs Rewind thing, I was watching that all week and I was like, I am jealous of this. I'm jealous that we don't have that. I'm jealous that I can't go somewhere and click and watch what Debbie Ferguson looked like running in high school.
Exactly.
When she was winning everything for St. Andrews.
St. Andrews,
I want to see like what the competition level was like between the top sprinters we had at that point. Like, where's our Nationals Rewind?
Nationals Rewind.
Because info@10ys didn't
Info
exist.
at 10ys wasn't there.
If you want the future, if you want to have a 10ys Rewind 10 years down the road, you know what to do. Info@10ys and become a part of the universe. So we are the hunters in curve to track and field. We're the hunted in curve to swimming. What's the difference here? Because that's also something that needs to be uncovered, right? Because when did that shift happen? What happened 10 years ago?
I don't know. They didn't have heaters in the pool back then? Were they more dedicated to swim?
We know how important that it was.
All
How
I
important that was.
look, just I feel that the club programs just decided to get their act together, and because you're not going to have a successful national team unless you have successful club programs.
Yeah, that's just the way it works.
Especially the junior level. So
I feel like it works like that with all our sports.
yeah, the junior level for sure.
Yeah, the club system has to be the thing that props the entire thing up.
Yeah, so they decided, hey, get the act together. So here we go. So Carifta Swimming started in 91.
So seven straight, and I think we have 8 of the last 9, right? Because there was a year where
Martinique won.
Martinique clipped us in one.
Yeah.
7 straight, 8 of the last 9. I mean,
No,
that's
9 of the last.
9 of the last 10?
I think so. Yeah.
That's dominance. That's dominance.
9 of the last 10.
We are beginning our Jamaica track and field run in swimming.
Well, here we go. I mean, I didn't realize it was on Wikipedia, but Martinique had the 3-peat. Guyana came in, Martinique, Trinidad, and Tobago won one. Jamaica had like a 5-peat.
Yeah, but nobody's
6-peat.
Nobody's had the run that
So
we've had.
here's the thing. When 1999 came, right? Jamaica was dominating. Do you think that they were getting in there like, this could become like track and field?
Yes, absolutely. Because why wouldn't they think that? Of course they thought that.
History?
If I was them, I would think that.
Mind you, check this out. 2020 and 2021 was canceled. So here, why don't we just say we won 10 in a row?
We can't just say it. You want to just start saying it now?
Yeah, they canceled it because they knew it was going to win.
Foregone conclusion.
They could have virtually let us win.
Possession is 9/10. We had the trophy. We had the high point stuff. I mean, might as well just keep it.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a little different because it goes by points. It doesn't go by what your medal count is with this. But we'll go back and we'll say this. As great as we are at the junior level, what's going on with the senior level?
And that right there is the difference between, well, one of the many differences between the public perception of track and field and the public perception of swimming. Because the same way how we started the show talking about Devin, and you can go back to what Devin did at Carifta, and you could follow that through what she did in the NCAA, and then now what she's doing as a professional. You could track her being the best at every level. It's not happening the same way in swimming. And so that's why the public, I would say that's why the public doesn't perceive it the same way. That's why it's not looked at the same way. What it takes for that to change, I have no idea. I don't know why there's a disconnect. I know the systems are completely different because, like we mentioned, Carifta track and field, that is the top of the region, whereas Carifta swimming is not.
No.
You go through several steps after that.
Yeah, I mean, what's the International Swim Federation? What they call FINA?
The fact that you can't even.
Anyways,
that's a whole part of it.
Them
too,
executives ain't going to this meeting.
That's a big part of it too, right?
I don't want to downplay what the swimming thing is. It's just reality is this, right? More people are gonna watch a local track meet here than watch Carifta swimming.
Yeah,
like that's just the reality, and I feel that I don't know what's going to be done, what has to be done, but swimming is always going to take the backseat towards everything, right? Just like I felt in my mind, if basketball had qualified for the Olympics, all those track athletes was taking the backseat to basketball.
New things. That would have been the first time, and it would have also coincided with a time where we didn't have a favorite for a gold medal. So it's not like the years where you had Shawnee walking into it and you expected her to top the podium, or you had Stevie expected him to top the podium. So it would have been the perfect time for basketball to do that and for that to be there. But I don't know. We had the big superstar in Ariana to a point, but even so, she wasn't world beater. We've had that in track and field. We've had
world class, regional class, America's class.
Whereas we've seen us literally have the best in track and field several times over. I think but it could be one of these ones now. It could be somebody who's swimming right now that becomes that. And like we talked about the representation meaning something, they could see that. They could see someone go further than Ariana did. and not just make a final, but if a Bahamian swimmer actually medals at the Olympics, and that could change everything.
Boy, if a Bahamian medals, then I can't imagine the arguing that's going to happen.
Woo! When you're speaking of arguing, that's some different sports been arguing this week. When we get back, we will shift from Carifta to the basketball court. It's March. How we going this long without talking about madness? Welcome back to the Accredited, powered by 10th year seniors here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Ronaldo, and as I'm doing this show, I am also penning a letter to John Calipari. On behalf of Big Blue Nation, I am writing the formal apology, and we'll see if we can make some things happen. I just want him to make sure he keeps Mikhail and Willis on staff.
I'm John Mark, and I don't like the Atlanta Hawks.
We can get to that when we get to the NBA. I can't even just say I don't like the Atlanta Hawks. I have to use stronger words than that. And I have to remember that we're also doing this for radio. And we do this so well for radio that you listening can join and be a part of our universe. You know how to hit us up. Hit us up at info@10ys.com, because you want this incredible program to be brought to the public by your organization. So your goods and services can be peddled here, just like we peddle these hot takes. So it's March. College basketball dominates. It dominates our universe. But in a plot twist this year, we are starting with the NIT. The NIT, listen.
That's our thing.
For people who don't know, there was a point in the 40s and 50s. The NIT was the big college basketball tournament. That was the thing. There was none of this NCAA tournament. There was none of this March Madness. That was not the thing that people wanted to be a part of. Everyone wanted to go to the National Invitational Tournament. That was the thing. Let's bring the NIT prestige back. Let's bring it back. And I feel like it's here. Just the way how we got a cape for the hurdles relay, we got a cape for the NIT to be the big deal now, because that is the one to watch. And right now in the NIT semifinals, we have Bahamian history on the horizon, because you got Romad Dean and his Tulsa Golden Hurricane going against Dayton Albury and his New Mexico Lobos. We're guaranteed to have one Bahamian in the NIT final.
And you know what the biggest storyline is? Nassau versus Freeport.
I don't know if that's the biggest storyline.
Of course it could be a big storyline. But here's the crazy thing with this, right? These two people, hoopers, were on the junior national team at the same exact time when we won a bronze medal against Dominican Republic and qualified outright for the Tournament of Americas under 18, which we couldn't go to because COVID just decided to say, hey, but boy, that would have been a hassle to go to because it was in Argentina, and I would have had to have gone and get 20 visas.
I love how you immediately made that, but this would have been so much work for me to get this thing done. But that's what this game is, and that's why I think we have to prop this game up on such a pedestal, because this is the personification of what the Bahamian basketball pipeline should look like and what it can produce. Because look at both of their stories, right? Star here locally, Dayton at TC, Romad at Tabernacle. Dayton goes to Crestwood Prep in Ontario. Romad goes to prep school in the US. I mean, sorry. I got that mixed up. Hold on, let me start that part over. Look at the pipelines of how they got there. I'll start with Dayton first. So he goes from Temple Christian, goes to prep school in the US, then goes to JUCO route, goes to a great JUCO in Chipola, which challenges for national championships all the time. And then you go to Queens University. You go from there to Utah State and now at New Mexico. So it's like at every step, you take one, you step up one rung on the ladder, right? Romad's path, you go from Tabernacle, go to Crestwood, that has, I mean, same school that Franco went to. So obviously there was the pipeline being created there. You go to Crestwood, and then he jumps straight into D1 from Crestwood, go to Fordham, spends a few years there, and now at Tulsa. So in between that, or prior to that, like you said, teammates on probably one of the most talented junior national teams we've ever had. Because when they beat the Dominican Republic, and what's so fitting about that was these guys were the two stars in that moment.
Yeah.
Like, Dayton had games where he went off in that bronze medal game. I think he had like 28.
I think it was 35.
Yeah, so he went off in that game. Romad had a double and the dunk to win it, the putback dunk to win it with like 4 seconds left. So you had two people who, in that moment, if you watch that game, and I think FIBA even wrote an article about it, because at that point, you know, the senior men's national team was still somewhat in the embryonic stages, and they wrote, look, these are two people who you could build around for the future, because they just did something for Bahamas basketball at the under 17 level we haven't seen. And it just has to feel so fulfilling from a national standpoint to see them go from that point to now doing it on this stage in college basketball and going against each other. Like, that's a full circle moment.
So I remember in that tournament, I'll go back to it, and it was almost like a coaches meeting that was having done. And it was, we were about to play Mexico. And I remember when you make the semifinals, you automatically go into the third place game, right? You have another game. And I remember in that meeting, it was something to the point of, hey, if this isn't going the way we need it to go, we have to pretty much rest the players, right? Yeah, they didn't have 28. We have to figure out what to do to the rest of the players. If I'm not mistaken, when we played Mexico just started dominating. Yeah. It was 64-48 game. Mexico started dominating. Like, we won the first quarter. It was close at halftime. Then the third quarter, it went sideways, completely sideways. And at that point, a decision had to be made. Do we play Mexico as hard as we can?
Or pack it up for
Or do you pack it up because you still have a chance to make what the ultimate goal was, the America's under 18 tournament?
Yeah, we got to leave here with something.
Dayton played every single minute in the Dominican Republic game. 40 minutes. That ain't easy. And G. Montero had 20. I thought G. Montero had more.
And that's, if you go and watch that last play, and I know it was on YouTube, I got to go search for it, but if you watch that last play, it's because Dayton obviously was cooking, like John said, had 28. He drives to the basket, throws one up high off the glass. Nobody gets a body on Romad, and he dunks it in. In terms of, I know we've had great wins, and of course you had the Eric Gordon threes. That's the greatest moment in Bahamian basketball. But I think this has to be right up there. Just the way that they ended that game. To end the game on a game-winning dunk?
Yeah, I would say this too, and a lot of people don't realize this with that game. Tyler Pinder was lights out shooting the ball. Like, when you need to say, hey, we need people to step up off the bench. Tyler Pinder hit some big threes that game. All he hit was threes that game. Malik Joseph had 12 points. Chester had 9 rebounds. Like, these are the things, like, you don't really see it, but when the game's going on, you're just like, okay, people stepped up to what they had to do. And I feel like that team we would have had the following year would have probably had, some of these players wouldn't have made it, but you would have had more.
But I think this is, to see two guys from this very talented team, and like we talked about it all the time, if COVID never happened, where this team would have gone on the international stage, who knows, right? That's something we'll never be able to see.
What people don't realize is this would have been the jump for the VJs, the Donnie Freemans, the Isaiah Sutherlands, the AJ Stores. This would have been something where I feel could have built the program so much. You would not have realized how much our program would have grown just based on the fact that we're at this level, and then people are looking, just like, look at us with the senior men's team. People are now like, hey, I want to play for the Bahamas now. It's no longer, I'll wait and see what happens.
I think if we got to see them at that U18 level and watch them go up every step, they would have put Bahamas basketball on the forefront before, like you said, before the major guys got there, before the NBA guys got there, because this made everyone get up and pay attention because nobody expected this from the Bahamas in this tournament. But they did that. And then to see these two guys now going head to head at this big stage in college basketball, it's a testament to them and their perseverance, because that is a long road from 16 and 17 to get to the point where they're at now. And for them to see it through and still in the fight and still about to go into pro basketball next year.
Oh, yeah.
This is a huge moment for us, and everyone should be locked into this game next Thursday. So it's Thursday, April 2nd. It's going to be at 7 p.m. New Mexico versus Tulsa.
Yeah. I would say this, though. I guess one day we'll have to get Romad and Dayton. I don't know if they were in the room, but I was in the room with a bunch of the players. And I remember people said, "What level do you think I am?" I'm like, "Well, you're a JUCO player. You're this player." And then they said, "No, man," people don't want to believe it when they hear it. Yeah. And I told them, and I remember the only two D1 players we have on this team are Dayton and Romad. Like, those are the only two D1 players we have. And it's just crazy how it's come to fruition where one of their last games is against each other.
But you know the crazy thing about it, and people may take that as a knock, but saying you're a JUCO player doesn't mean that's where you're capped, because Dayton was a JUCO player.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just your circumstances and your ability to bet on yourself and actually work towards that. Because he could have stayed a JUCO player, and that could have been it. Yep. There's a lot of people that went through the JUCO route. Shoot, 3 Ounce was coaching that team. He was a JUCO player before he went to Gonzaga.
There's no issues being JUCO, D2, whatever, but you need people to tell you my opinion is you need people to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I don't want people, because I'm sure when you said that, some of those kids was like, "Oh, he hating," or "I better than this or better than that." No, that's not what it is. Like, you determine your path once you get in the system,
Yep.
Because both of these guys did that. It wasn't, Romad going to Canada, that wasn't like a cakewalk, like you're just going to walk into a D1 situation.
He was supposed to go to Canada and then they kept him back one more year.
As John is watching the replay of the play right now, like that was so huge. And I remember in that moment, because the Dominican Republic, their junior national program was so far ahead of ours.
Yep.
So far ahead of ours. And that is
even
why,
the senior men's.
Yeah, but that's why the people at FIBA had to write that article like, "Hey, wait a minute. This Bahamas basketball is a thing, because look at what they're doing at that under 17 level." And in the article, there was like, in a few years, pair these guys with players like Buddy. This was before VJ really came on the scene like that, but they were looking ahead to Buddy. They were looking ahead to DA and saying Dayton and Romad were going to be the guys to push this to the next level.
As I'm walking through the clip with my hand on the head,
I knew he was looking for you.
I was just like, man, I didn't even realize I think I walked to the bench at that point, because I said, well, I could be with the bench if they win.
But this is going to be a huge moment, and one of them will have an opportunity to win an NIT title, which is why we're all about the NIT this year.
You gotta love the NIT.
You gotta love the NIT. It's March.
Okay, let's just talk about I said it, we didn't get it on video, but Rima with the Jordan play of the NIT.
This is why the NIT is so important and means so much to us, because thank you for the perfect segue. It's not just because you have Dayton and Romad going against each other with a chance to go to the final, but you had the play of all college basketball postseason. Because I've seen some great buzzer beaters. I have yet to see any that's on the level of what Rima did.
A steal, dribble, shot.
Down by 3 with 4.5 seconds left to play. It's one thing if you have possession, right? Because if you have, everyone's seen that before. You have possession, y'all draw up a good play in the huddle. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. We've seen that.
They had to just get the ball in.
Do you know what the probability is like for you to actually get a steal and get a shot and make the shot to force overtime?
No.
And Rima did all of that by herself.
Less than 0.1% probably.
She did all of that by herself. I probably watched that play. I watched that play dozens of times, and I try to look for something new every time, right? And I just try to put myself in the body of the fan of the opposing team at that time, because you thinking it's 4.5 seconds. We just got to inbound this. They go foul. This game is over. And then you see, oh, she tips it, but we can get it. No, she tips it. All right, they get it. ain't no way she can make this shot. And then she makes the shot and force overtime.
And then at least they won the game, which is a good thing.
Well, yeah, that
becomes the issue after that.
FIU goes on to win it, and if they had some more Rima Collins, they probably would have still been playing right now at this point. But so she spends 2 years at Ole Miss. She spends 2 years with Coach Yo at Ole Miss, transfers out, goes from the SEC over to CUSA, immediately becomes the best player in CUSA. She was one of the best players through the first 2 rounds of the NIT. My question to you is, does she go back up? Does she transfer out of FIU and goes back to a big program?
I say no. And the reason I say no is I understand that those opportunities are going to be going there, right? I also understand money is a thing.
I was gonna say, I
get all those things,
but John, that's all college basketball is. I understand. Now. It's only money.
But here's what you got to look at when it comes to what do you? Okay, if she is getting offered a 7-figure deal, go.
Let's see if Texas Tech is gonna do something.
All I'm saying is, if she's getting offered like a big deal, go. If the offer ain't too good, you know what you get? You know what you're guaranteed at FIU? Playing time. You're guaranteed to getting minutes. You're guaranteed to put up numbers. Your goal is to be pro. You're not going to go pro if you're back on the bench like you were at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Like, because people are going to look at the thing and say, we ain't seen you play. People are seeing her play and what she could do, right? So my opinion is, don't try to be like the AJ Store and just jump school to school, right? You got to be able to just say, let me stick with this. Let me get this going. FIU NIL needs to up their game or something and try to keep who is the conference player of the year.
What about the argument of doing it against an elevated level of competition, though? Because people can view it and say, yes, you're putting up these numbers. They can say, I'll play devil's advocate. You just walked into this conference after playing sparingly for 2 years in the SEC. You walked into this conference, you win player of the year, newcomer of the year, first team, all defensive team, you just dominate. Maybe this league isn't good enough for us to get a true understanding of the player you can be on the next level. We need to see you do it against someone else. You don't think that would be a compelling argument that would make her think, maybe I got to go back Power 5?
I guess, but if I would look at it to the point where, like, if I'm going to a Power 5 school or Power 4 or whatever you want to call it, it's got to be one of the lower tier ones where I know I'm going to get minutes.
You definitely have to make the right decision, and playing time and where you fit into the plan for the next 2 years has to be right up there in terms of the money you're getting when you make this decision. You can't, like you said, you can't just go somewhere and then go back to the end of the bench because it serves no purpose.
No.
And then you only devalue yourself. But I think that's a conversation that's going to have to be had, because I think people are going to be in the Rima Collins business. I think she will get a bag thrown at her.
For sure. I mean, how big of a bag?
We don't know, but I think there's definitely going.
You could imagine she went back to Ole Miss?
NIL money is crazy, bro. The reason I mentioned Texas Tech is because you know what they doing. Softball players getting $1 million.
$1 million for softball players.
I think she did enough, and if they continued to go on and she had more moments, I think it would have only grown. But it'll be interesting to see whether she does stay at FIU, whether she likes, because some people just like the situation that they're in.
Miami, close to home. She just might have felt good.
Yeah, that could be a part of the reason why she was playing the way she was playing. Who knows? But I think there are going to be some offers sent her way that's going to make this an actual compelling decision that's going to have to be made. She was a contributor. Now she's the centerpiece.
Yeah. At the end of the day, yeah, it all is going to be what's going to happen. I think you have to look at both sides. Like, sure, I would rather dominate CUSA than, like you say, go to a Power 4, Power 5, and not dominate.
I only go in there if y'all telling me I could start.
Yeah, like but they say these things, you know.
Yeah, I only go in there. You got to tell me I could start, bro. All right, let's go to this lesser tournament. This NCAA tournament or whatever. That's lesser for us this year.
What is that?
That's lesser for us this year. Nah, we just kidding. But
are we?
I mean, it's big for the coaches. We love our coaches. As much as we always talk about the Bahamian players, we always say this may be the best generation of Bahamian coaches there's ever been, because we've never had this much at this level. So it could be a golden era for that as well. Because while we did not have the players in the NCAA tournament this year like we have had in the past, there was a time when we had Buddy and Tom in the same region.
Boy,
crazy times.
Elite Eights.
Yeah, that was the time. That was not the case this year. But Coach Yo and Ole Miss falls short of making their third straight Sweet 16, and it happened in one of the most gut-wrenching ways. That game bothered me so much, because we were talking as the game was going on, and Ole Miss pulled away in the third, went up by 8 in the fourth, and I didn't know the details of what was happening because I wasn't home. But we saw it happen against LSU.
Yeah,
and we were dreading the fourth quarter.
They just happened to be up by 20.
We were dreading the fourth quarter, and then I learned later that Cody McMahon fouled out, and Ole Miss just had no offense.
None.
Ended up just scoring 9 in the fourth, lose on pretty much a buzzer beater, and
front rim too. Like that doesn't.
That's such a tough way to go out, man. And obviously we felt it differently because that's Coach Yo.
Yeah.
And she has been on the defense on social media ever since. And I've been reading some of it, and I'm like, I hate the fact that she has to do this.
Yeah.
Like, social media is such a toxic place when these things happen. Like, her having to do this, there's nothing wrong with you saying, hey, the officiating got to be better. I don't think that's a new thing that happened in this game, because people have been saying that about college basketball for like the last 3 years.
Yeah. And
that's not a new thing.
It's just inconsistent when it comes to calls, because you watch a game, if something happens on one side and it doesn't happen on the other, then you say, what's going on? Like, that's just, everyone's going to have that natural what's going on moment. But the thing with Coach Yo is basketball, just like any other sport, it's cruel. It's a cruel sport, and it's a cruel way to go. You have this lead. You think you're dominating. Her team could go toe-to-toe with any team in the country any day. It just wasn't her day. Someone's got to win and someone's got to lose. Losing is a disappointment, but it doesn't mean your season was a failure, because you're still learning. And like I said, someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. So if she lost, she knows, okay, now I got to do X, Y, Z more for next season.
But them looking at that loss a certain way, I think that's actually a testament to how she's reprogrammed the culture around Ole Miss basketball, because now this is something that you expect. We've seen this for several years. By the way, they wasn't seeing that at all before. She took it from the cellar to where it is now. But I think with that kind of thing, with winning, with exposure, we talked about Rima possibly getting the bag. I think people are going to be in hot pursuit for Coach Yo as well. And Ole Miss is going to have to try to hold on to her, because her star is growing on a national level.
So Coach Yo, at the end of the day, is going to be her decision of if she wants to stay or if she goes. Because like you say, people are going to approach that. That's just the way. Same way how you go in the transfer portal for players. People always looking for the next coach, the next big thing.
This is what the college basketball game is now, and you cannot just stick your head in the sand and think that this is not what it is. People are there looking to improve instantly on a year-by-year basis, whether that is through coaching or whether that is through players. And if someone who is willing to drop an outsized budget because they want to compete right away, I could absolutely see that happening, because she has proved, not just in one location, but she has proved twice that she can take a program from pretty much nothing and get them to the NCAA tournament. She did it with Jacksonville. Then she went to a bigger budget program, and she's competing in the most difficult program in college basketball, the SEC, and is taking Ole Miss to Sweet 16s.
So let's think of it this way. In the Bahamas, Ole Miss used to be known as one thing in basketball. You go and you transfer.
Yeah.
That's what it was known for in the Bahamas basketball community.
Well, it's still not on the men's side.
Dwight.
Yeah. Franco.
Sammy. Rima.
And AJ could be there for a year.
Yeah, and AJ's just there. But like,
he's had a great SEC tournament.
AJ is the only one who is going to graduate with an Ole Miss degree.
He's the only one where that's the last stop.
Yeah, that's the last stop. Grand opening, grand closing. Like, cool. But Coach Yo's done what she's had to do with the program. Let me go filibuster.
All right, I got you. But so she is. We've been talking about the standard, the whole show. Take it back to the first segment with Devin. She's the standard in her event. Coach Yo is now the standard in Bahamian coaching. Like, yeah, she has she's made everyone rethink what's possible in being not just a coach, but being the CEO of a major Division I program. Because the way she runs that top to bottom, that may be more impressive than the X's and O's to me.
So here we go. Carol Ross, they made the Elite Eight in 2007, right? Then after, no tournament. NIT third round, no tournament.
NIT
no
is a big tournament.
My favorite thing in this is 2012-13. Brett Frank. Postseason, none. Self-imposed season ban. They went 9-20.
give me the 3 years right before Coach Yo. That's my thing.
So Matt Insel, none WNIT first round, none WNIT third round. Now, Coach Yo came in, rebuilding the program, 9-22, 7-23.
Look at what she inherited. She inherited a 9-win team.
12-win.
She inherited a 12-win team.
So, anyways, WNIT runner-up after that. First round, Sweet 16. Second round, Sweet 16. Second round. It's going to break. It's going to go through. We're going to look one day, and it's going to say, second round, Final Four. Like, it's going to happen. Like,
but look at that progression, and I think that's the kind of thing for her to do it at Jacksonville, yes. But then to come to this difficult of a conference and go from your first year, your team can only win 9 wins, to the point where you're breaking records for wins every year. You're beating ranked teams every year. All I'm saying is, I feel at some point, and who knows, Ole Miss may continue to do what they need to do to keep her. But the way the game goes,
6 20-win seasons.
The way the game goes, someone bigger, badder, with a bigger budget is always waiting around the corner.
But here's the thing with Coach Yo. Like, you really have to think about the success of the 20-win seasons.
Yeah.
Right? The consistency she's putting up.
This is a disappointment. Think about where they were before, which you was just reading off. Yeah. And the fact that they only made the second round is a disappointment.
And you also got to remember, and I agree with Coach Yo on this one, to me, the voters in the women's poll are the craziest voters in the world.
No, it's ridiculous.
Like, they don't show respect to, and they like, that is way more name brand than what you're doing to the season. And this is the first year I feel that Ole Miss had the respect to get a decent seed. They were a 5 seed.
She had to build that.
Before that, they were 9 seeds. They were 10 seeds. They were 11 seeds. Whatever the seed that they were. But it's to the point where it's like, all right, Coach Yo is going to kill on the recruiting trail, kill in the transfer portal.
Already there. Like, I saw her posting.
Yeah,
like from
she's gonna have all that, and she's gonna be ranked in the top 25 coming in the preseason poll.
Yep.
So once she can start consistently getting a 3 seed, a 4 seed, things are gonna change.
Yeah,
it's tough to go as an 8 or 9 seed because then you play the 1 seed. It's tough to go in as a 5 seed because you still got to play a 4 seed. Like, these are good basketball teams they're playing.
Yeah, Minnesota was a 4.
Yep.
Like, that was a typical, that game was a typical 4 or 5 matchup. All right, briefly, I want to go to this Kentucky thing just based solely on the fact that Mikhail and Willis are there, not because I am a homer and need to talk about Kentucky basketball. I'll just say this: whatever happens next, I just hope Mikhail and Willis get to stay on staff. That's it. I ain't got nothing else to say.
Cool.
When we come back, we're going to talk some NBA.
Basketball fans, this one's for you. Buy a 6-pack of Michelob Ultra at any Jimmy's Wines and Spirits location and enter for your chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to a live NBA game before the end of the 2026 season. 2 lucky winners and their guests are headed to a live NBA game, so grab your Michelob Ultra today and get in the game. Drawing takes place April 20th, so don't miss your shot. Michelob Ultra is the official beer sponsor of the NBA, distributed in the Bahamas by Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, who reminds you to drink in moderation.
This segment, this is a new segment, here at 10YS.
New things.
We like new things. We like to premiere new things. We have been telling y'all for the last 2 weeks, info@10ys.com. Someone listen. So this segment, we bring to you Michelob Ultra milestones. Every week, we are going to talk the NBA playoffs. We are going to talk about the path to get there, what we expect to happen. This segment brought to you by Jimmy's Wines and Spirits and Michelob Ultra. And for basketball fans, you can turn this playoff season into the ultimate NBA experience. Y'all love watching on TV. Y'all love arguing about it. Imagine being live in the arena to witness one of these moments. Me and John have witnessed some crazy basketball moments.
We saw LeBron play.
We saw LeBron. We saw VJ hit game winners. We saw Chris Jenkins hit that crazy game winner at the Final Four when we went to go watch Buddy in Oklahoma. Being in the arena to see these things is amazing, and Michelob Ultra gives you that opportunity. Purchase any 6-pack at Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, and you can win an all-expensive paid trip to a live NBA playoff game.
So you want to know a game I've been to, which was pretty good? When Dwayne Wade hit that half-court shot against the Warriors. Yeah, I was there.
Oh, that was a big game.
And I was sitting in the club penthouse, but when he released the ball, you're like, oh.
And then you went,
going in.
So Michelob is getting you flights, tickets, and the experience that every fan dream about. This promotion only runs until April 20th, so get to buying your 6-pack. Do not miss your shots. Grab it today. Any Jimmy's Wines and Spirits distributor, get ready. Experience this playoffs like you never experienced it before. Michelob Ultra, only worth it if you enjoy it. The NBA grind is heavy. This beer is light.
And you know what they're helping you with? They ain't sending you to no game in December.
Well,
in Philadelphia.
That
was pretty cool.
It's a harrowing experience. I had to buy a pea coat and gloves.
Yeah, it was cool. That one day that we actually didn't have to go to the stadium.
It was such a great day.
It was so cool. It was snowing.
I tell everyone about that day. I was like, look, it was a day where we just was like, nah. We said not today. Not today.
No.
Anything we get
just
done.
Hibernation.
Anything we get done, we just do in that remote, and then we'll deal with the rest of it.
I think we did the radio show that day in the comfort of the warm room.
Yeah, we did. Oh, we have to do the radio show from Grenada this time. Maybe
if we get the sponsors, info@10ys.com.
So for our first edition of the Michelob Ultra Milestones, we got to focus on our people, because the milestones we want to talk about, we are a Bahamian-centric platform first and always. The milestones we want to talk about is the possibility of seeing Bahamians in the NBA playoffs. Because if Michelob is going to send you to a game, it may be the game for one of our guys. So when we look at the playoff race, we're talking DA, we're talking VJ, and we're talking Buddy. Boy, we hate the Hawks. But anyway.
Shout out to Buddy for getting his first points as a Hawk.
I can leave that one for last. Let's go Lakers and DA first, because they're in the playoffs. We know that's a guaranteed thing. For the Lakers, it's just a matter of where the seeding is going to be. 47-26 as we record right now, third in the West. And remember when everybody thought the sky was falling and the Lakers would... I don't know what they thought the Lakers were going to turn into. I think they thought they were going to send the Lakers to the NIT, like we talked about earlier, and everyone thought DeAndre Ayton was the worst thing to ever happen to basketball. Through all of that noise that was being made, the Lakers are third in the West. What we was making noise for is my question. Is it just that the franchise is so big and so important that they I don't know, they just...
People stupid. That's all it is. So when we went to I'm not going to name names, but we went to the Devin Charlton press conference, and someone brought up, oh, Aiden doing terrible. I don't think he's doing good things off the court. That drug problem he have. It's like, what are you talking about? These people make up their own environment and things about these people. And it's just like, you know what DeAndre is doing? Exactly what his employers are telling him to do.
Third in the West.
Third in the West.
I don't think anyone thought they were going to be better than OKC. I think this is exactly where people thought that they were going to be. So look at who's ahead of them. The current MVP and the next guy who people think is going to win MVP for the next 10 years.
The alien.
Yeah. So that's who's ahead of them right now. Meanwhile, what we're actually seeing right now, and aren't the Lakers they're like 9-1 of their last 10, or maybe something like that. 9-1 out of their last 10 games. Their magic number to clinch the 3 seed, 7. Look at their remaining schedule. I'll say this, very manageable games, to say the least. They got the Nets. They got the Wizards. They got the Jazz. They got the Suns. They got the Warriors.
Plenty of dubs.
A lot of dubs right there. A lot of opportunity for the Lakers to possibly get to number 2. The floor for them, I think, is 6 or 7. If everything collapses, they get to the 6 or 7 seed. Likely finish, I think they can get to number 2. So like we said, we're guaranteed to see DA in the playoffs, and hopefully Michelob can send you there. But it's just a matter of where they end up in the standings. That's all it is right now.
Yeah, LA. I think that they have a great shot at staying at the 3 seed at minimum. I think it's going to take a Spurs collapse for them to go anything less than 2. I think OKC is going to have to. But if you're the 3 seed, you're happy.
3 seed is a good spot.
Yeah.
3 seed is a good spot.
Except for the Knicks.
It's not such a good seed. Who is currently 6th in the West right now? I know you have it up.
The Houston Rockets, 43-29. I
think that is an incredible first round matchup.
Well, remember, they would have to play. Oh, that's who they would play, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the playing game. So in the West, let's just go this way. There's 10 teams already guaranteed to make the postseason. Like everyone else has been eliminated. Mm-hmm. And on the Eastern Conference, the Bucks and Bulls are 29-43. And I think it's like if they lose one more, they're done.
Wow. Talk about no room for error.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But Chet, will the Lakers be one of the teams that Michelob sends you to? I certainly hope so, because watching Laker games is incredible.
You know what? I hope not. I feel like
they don't deserve it.
They don't deserve it, first of all, right?
Let's just go back to talking about DA's contribution.
Before we go there, if Jimmy sends you to the Lakers game, first you have to sign a DeAndre Ayton apology form.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we got to start.
Second, we have to quiz you on DeAndre Ayton to see what you know about him on this season.
John, I need you to we're going to have a production meeting live on air right now. You got to make one of those like in PDF format for us to post. So when DA has his next big game, this is the official DeAndre Ayton apology thing. Yeah. Y'all could share it. Y'all could print it out, give it to your friends and family, because people are going to need it, especially for this playoff run.
And I feel like, in order to go watch the Lakers, you have to know what's going on. You have to know his stats, what he's done, his plus minuses, all that stuff.
Understand the contribution more than the box score, because if you are playing with Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves, your box score is probably not going to look like it looked when you were playing with the Phoenix Suns and you were the second option. Probably, and then you had a legendary point guard to just get you the ball whenever. It's probably not going to look the same. But
exactly.
Context matters. He's a rebounding anchor. He's interior defense, pick and roll finisher.
Shooting such great percentage.
Physical presence that they're going to need in the playoffs, because the big part of the reason why Minnesota washed them out last year was there was nothing that could be done with Rudy Gobert, and now you have that. He becomes more valuable as they get closer to the playoffs. And we've seen it in several big games down the stretch against Houston. They went to him several times against Houston, and he scored 7 in the fourth when they won that game. There's another game where, they didn't end up winning this one, but he hit 3 out of 4 clutch free throws down the stretch against Detroit. So he has been becoming a bigger factor in what they do in late game situations. I think in the playoffs, when things get more condensed and you see the same team over and over, he's going to be even more important to what they do.
Here we go. We got it. The DeAndre Ayton fan apology form.
Oh, there's one already. I feel like
I made it.
Oh, okay, great. And then I feel like we'll tinker this.
We'll tailor it.
We'll tailor it to some more Bahamian centric themes. But I'm happy that we have it ready to go.
Section 1, offensive.
Oh, there are different sections.
Called him soft. Said he lacked effort or motor. Compare him unfavorably to other draft picks. Claimed he was overpaid. Question on impact of, like, this is the perfect thing right here. What made you realize DeAndre Ayton deserves respect? Dominant performance, consistency on time, advanced stats proving on eye test. Public pressure? We could be that.
Yeah, definitely public pressure. All right, let's continue. Number 2 on the Michelob Ultra milestone ladder. VJ and the Sixers fighting tooth and nail through this storm of the play-in. Because, listen, I don't know what's going on.
I would be so happy if they don't make the play-in.
Dog, someone needs to do a study on, like how they were saying everyone in the 49ers getting hurt because they buy whatever that thing was.
Electromagnetic field or whatever it is.
Do they have one of those by the Xfinity Mobile Arena in Philly? Because everybody always hurt all the time.
I don't think it'll be, they have to look because the facility's in New Jersey. So we have to check about.
So it may be where they practice and not just where they play.
Yeah.
They got to check the whole area.
Whole thing.
Because something is happening. And we said it. Actually, we said it from VJ got drafted. If this team is healthy, this is a legitimate contender for the East.
But here's the crazy thing with that.
They have not been healthy.
Well, yes. That is one of the things. But they're 40 and 33. I feel like any other year in the Eastern Conference, that's a 5 seed.
But the thing it is right now, and if you look at the standings,
oh yeah, it's one game, 41.
There is such a log jam from like 5 to 10. A 3-game win streak or a 3-game losing streak can get you anywhere between that same 5 to 10 range.
Yep.
So we could have you firmly entrenched in a sure postseason spot or in the play-in. The rest of these games are so important for all these teams in the East right now. Like John said, 40 and 33. They could get as high as the 3 seed looking at it.
So here's the schedule. Charlotte, they've been up. That's Miami. Then Washington, Minnesota. Minnesota's going to be difficult. Detroit, San Antonio.
Doesn't have Ant Edwards right now.
It's so difficult.
Yeah.
Detroit, San Antonio, Houston. That is going to be their stretch right there. They have to pull at least one of those wins.
Yeah.
And you better hope that rest management comes into play when it comes to one of these teams. But that, because Indiana and Milwaukee, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, those are chalk. Those are chalk games. And then, yeah, like you said, it'll depend on where a lot of these teams are. Because some of these teams may be locked in, can't move either way. So it wouldn't really matter where you end up. But Joel Embiid finally came back earlier this week against Chicago. Him and Paul George came back against Chicago.
They scored so many points.
And they scored 157 points. 157 points. By the way, I know this is about the playoffs, but I just want everybody to look, because it's a foregone conclusion that this Rookie of the Year thing is going to go to Cooper Flag or
biased, anyways,
or Con Knipple. Garbage. But I just want everyone to look at what VJ did while everyone else was out and while everyone else was hurt.
VJ's plus minus was 32.
He was averaging about 35 and 5 a game over that 5-6 game stretch.
That's what happens when you're forced to shoot the ball.
Now think about if he had the entire season where it was just him, like those guys had. Well, not Con Knipple so much, but like Cooper Flag had. Think about if every game it was on him to do that. Now, we were saying we are happy that he's not in that situation, because I would rather him be playing winning basketball early in his career. I'd never wanted him to go to Utah and have to do the Ace Bailey thing. I think he landed in a great spot.
What Ace Bailey doing with his life?
He's been having some good games, but it's happening in a vacuum because it's happening in Utah. I just want us to never forget that. And even at the spot when all the great rookies were assembled, and I know Cooper Flag wasn't there or whatever, but Con Knipple was in that game. When all the best rookies were assembled, who was the person that rose to the forefront and who became the story of All-Star Weekend? It was VJ.
The only one.
He is going to be the best player in this class. We just early. I don't understand why everybody else doesn't see it.
Okay. Why everyone doesn't see it is because it's the same thing with the Philly media. They didn't see it, but now ask them if they want to trade him.
They didn't even want to trade him for Giannis. Like when people mention him for Giannis, and this was maybe a week or two after the debut game where he had 34, and they thought that was the most ridiculous thing they'd ever heard.
They're like, I didn't realize he had, but we've been trying to tell you. Listen to the small little platform.
Listen to us. Anyway.
I've been watching him since he was 5'10".
He might have been even shorter.
Boy.
Paul George is back. Embiid is back. Now it's all that's left is for Tyrese Maxey to come back. And I'll tell you, even if they don't move up and get into one of those top 6 spots, they are going to be held for any one of those higher seeds. Because if they are at full strength, that is not crazy to me that they could beat Boston, that they could beat Detroit.
I think they could beat the Knicks for sure.
I think they could definitely beat the Knicks. I think this Philly team, if everyone's there, I think they could beat anyone in the East. That's the one take we
go into the finals?
That's the one take we made early. I think we got to ride that one out because
Lakers, Philly finals, like we said.
Ooh.
Michelob, you better start saving that money.
Michelob Ultra. The money there, Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, they good for it. Y'all saw that. Hey, and I want y'all to know, and I'm talking to y'all, Michelob Ultra. Do not just send people without people to document the experience.
Mm-hmm. Or sign him at DeAndre Ayton form.
That is an important part of any marketing campaign, is to have people document the experience to know how great Michelob Ultra was in getting their fans to the game. You got to get the fans and also the people to document the experience. That's all they're saying. Y'all know how to find us. Okay, go back to the Eastern Conference standings.
We're saving the best for last.
Yeah, we're saving the best for last. Go back to this team that we hate more than any other team in the NBA, these Atlanta Hawks, who just right now happen to be one of the hottest teams in the NBA, blah, 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 whatever. So right now, the Hawks, as we record, 41-32, their seed battle, they're going to be in that 5-10 range, depending on how they finish. They're in that danger zone that we talked about. Depending on how these last few games go, you could get up as high as 4 or 5, or you could be all the way down to 9 or 10. They've been on this hot streak, which means they might be due. Anyway, remaining schedule. Ooh, they got the Celtics twice, and the Cavs twice, and the Knicks, and the Heat, and the Magic. Oh,
things are down bad.
Down bad. That was surprising me as I was reading it, because all the other.
You know what they need here? Game 7, buddy.
Thank you, John. We are not even a year removed from Buddy Hield saving the Golden State Warriors in Game 7 against the Rockets. And to see what has happened to him, I have no faith in NBA business. And people like to be negative about the player empowerment area. I mean, people like to be negative about the player empowerment, blah, blah, blah.
Well, you can't speak. Good thing this ain't live.
People like to be negative about the player empowerment era, but I'll tell you one thing. When James Harden does his thing and he says, I want to be traded because I don't like the situation, get me out of here now, I stand behind that because I get why. Because if you don't take advantage of your earning power and what you have in that moment, this could happen to you. Mm-hmm. This could happen to you. But he does all the things the right way. Great teammate. Even while you have to suffer through this. I know he got to hate this. I hate the fact that he's becoming a joke to these people. They cheering for him to come in at the end of games and force up shots or get a free throw. They making videos about him cleaning his shoes on the bench. Like it's becoming
getting a dunk and everyone laughing.
Him getting a dunk at the end of the game. Like this becoming a whole thing when this is someone who could help a legitimate contender. Like this is not the point where Buddy's career should be. And I hate that the Hawks are doing this. I hate that the Hawks put him in this position. I am so glad they didn't get their Magic City thing. I hope they go in a free fall. I hope they don't make it. This is my least favorite franchise they've ever been. This is a loser franchise. All they had is Dominique Wilkins and a couple years of Mike Budenholzer winning 60 games and getting kicked out of the playoffs early. They're terrible. I hope they lose forever.
Pelicans was really bad too.
That'll do it for this edition of the Accredited, powered by 10th year seniors. Go out, purchase your Michelob Ultras. Get your 6-pack, have an opportunity to catch one of these games live. We will be back next week. We're going to be Carifta heavy next week. So it's just going to be Carifta and some NBA.
Basketball fans, this one's for you. Buy a 6-pack of Michelob Ultra at any Jimmy's Wines and Spirits location and enter for your chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to a live NBA game before the end of the 2026 season. 2 lucky winners and their guests are headed to a live NBA game, so grab your Michelob Ultra today and get in the game. Drawing takes place April 20th, so don't miss your shot. Michelob Ultra is the official beer sponsor of the NBA, distributed in the Bahamas by Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, who reminds you to drink in moderation.